guys. Let me know if you guys have any questions. So again, it's your boy Kobe Rise.
It's coming for you, it's coming for you, it's coming for you, it's coming for you.
Oh Lord, do not forget the gorillas. Everyone know we the realest, a bunch of go-getters. I bet you can tell I'm the illest. You don't need your fingers to feel it. You know I can straight spit, knock you out with a late hit. Feel like I'm the one, like I'm Neo, but this is the real life, not the Matrix. I'm about to go ape shit.
Ain't no gotta roll out. I know gotta roll out, yeah. I know gotta roll out, yeah. I roll on
Oh yeah, baby, let's roll it.
Come on,
Baby, let's light it.
let's get it.
Get high, oh yeah. Better when she dropping,
Hey man, what's going on, man? Hold on, wait a minute. Let's bring it back, reel it back. It's your boy Kobe Rise and Rise. You dig? We back at it again with a banger. Shout out to Queen City Organics. We got the sea moss coming out. If you already placed your order, more than likely you already have your sea moss. We've already been getting it out. So we're going to continue to grind. We're going to continue to get this out as well. And if you're looking for your order, make sure that you are hitting me on the IG King Alajuwan 21. Make sure you hit me on Facebook at Rise and Rise Academy. You dig? But you know, we're going to get it started real fast. So just give me one brief moment. Back at it again. What's up, y'all? Hey, man, listen, talk to me, y'all. How's everything going right now? I am blessed and highly favored for real. Listen, y'all, I got my water right here. You dig? What's going on, IG family? I got my IG family tapping in. We got the pasta, lentil pasta. You dig? I need to keep on my macros and my calories. Protein shake. The grind doesn't stop at all. What's going on, man? Hey, I see Ernest in the chat. What's going on, brother? Man, everything is blessed and highly favored over here, man. You know it. I hope everything is well with you too, man. Yo, we have I ain't gonna say a crazy topic. We have a different type of topic that we haven't really discussed. All right. And this particular topic, let me see what he says right here. I'm doing good, by the way, just taking a day at a time. Hey, man, that's all we can do is take it a day at a time. We're gonna take it a day at a time, man. What's going on? IG family tapping in, y'all. You feel me? We out here looking good. You said it. Hey, y'all, this is an important topic because, again, we're talking about what exactly is overtraining. We're going to get right into it, y'all. Overtraining. But before we get into it, I got one more thing. So make sure you guys, again, if you're looking for the sea moss, we have the sea moss ready for you guys. The Raspberry Rafa is in stock. The flavor is dragon fruit and strawberry flavor. It's a fitness sea moss, okay? So this is the only fitness sea moss that you're going to come across because why? We're the only one that's making it. So check the screen out. It's fuel for the body. It's energy and muscle recovery. Brought to you by Queen City Organics. This is a supercharger sea moss for all my guys and all my ladies who are trying to work out. The Raspberry Rafa sea moss is in store right now. Get your jar right now for $30. Listen, I take it. It's one of the best things that I've had. I personally did not like sea moss gel because of the texture. I'm a texture person. If y'all are texture people, then you feel me. So when the Raspberry Rafa came into play from Queen City Organics, that was something that I could take because of the the people say, and they tell me that it tastes like applesauce, but with that particular flavor. So if you're into that type of texture, then this sea moss right here is the one for you. I've taken it before I go work out. Tons of energy. I feel so good just in my mood and everything else that comes with it. It comes to that sea moss. So if you guys are interested in sea moss, especially when it comes to a fitness standpoint, it's something I take. You're looking for the grind, you're looking for the muscle. I took it whenever I had my show last year, and man, and I felt great doing it. You know, it was a great turnout, great results. I think you guys will see great results as well. And when you take the sea moss, you do have to change your diet to a clean diet. It is not medicine. This is not going to be that type of thing. This is holistic type of healing. So it's only going to be a benefit to what you're already doing. Presumably, if you're doing the right steps, meaning eating clean foods, and specifically cater to the Rise Academy food pyramid. Alkaline veggies and alkaline grains. What's going on, Cass? Alkaline veggies and alkaline grains. So we're talking about the structure of your food and how you need to structure it. So most of your veggies and grains are going to be alkaline based. And then the rest of them, this is the middle portion. That's your food, your fruits, your herbs, whole foods and snacks. And that's actual food. So whole foods is food from the ground, right? This is something that is grown. This is something from like apple trees, you know, just different type of food. Matter of fact, I got a food list for you guys. Just check the screen. So this is going to be the alkaline food list. So most of your veggies and grains are going to be just on this list. And next is going to be your fruits and everything else that comes with it. So if you have this particular type of diet along with the sea moss, and again, the smallest portion is going to be your clean meats and additives. What's going on with you, fam? The smallest portion, okay? And when I say the smallest portion, if you're going to eat your meat and your clean meats and other additives, it can only be like a fistful. Just like if you blow up your fist, just that much. And that's your specific fist. So it's not a fist from like Mike Tyson and none of that, right? No. Your fist. Cut the meat, cut whatever additives that you want. That size portion should be on your plate, but that's the smallest portion. So let it be the smallest portion, but everything else is the bigger portions on your plate because your plate should follow that. All right. And this, again, you have to work out as well because all these things go hand in hand to get you on the right path. What's going on, Jabari? Yeah, we in there. You dig? Hey, man, this is going to be a great topic, y'all. My IG family's tapping in. You know, we turning it up. We are turning it up, y'all. All right. So what is overtraining? This is the Mind Pump Show reaction. And shout out to Sal, man. He has built a tremendous fitness podcast because, again, we don't talk about this enough of fitness and what is to come with fitness. We talk all about diet. We talk about lifting weights. We talk about calisthenics. Shout out to Showtime. We talk about all these different things, but we never really talk about how much we get to the work, and we working so much. Sometimes we start to not see results, even though we're working very, very hard. Well, why is that? Well, there might be something that's called overtraining. Well, what exactly is overtraining? Well, this is the analogy that I like to use, right? So the analogy, what's going on, Cal? And the only thing that I can say the only thing, but the analogy that I like to use is like a car. If you know about cars, then y'all know. What up, Cal? I know you know about cars, so you can get this. If you run your car engine, you keep running it, and over time, if you start to see that temperature gauge go all the way from where it should be to very, very hot, and I mean all the way over, right? You want to stop your car because it's overheating. Well, what happens when your car overheats? Well, you start to have issues. You start to see issues with your car. You start to have, engine malfunctions. You start to see just your car smoking. You don't want to see that because that will tend to mean that your car is going to eventually stop working almost indefinitely unless you have to do some serious labor work to get it working. Well, overtraining your body is similar to that because what ends up happening is you start, and this is from research. Research indicates you see detrimental effects on overtraining. The mental health aspect of it, it will start to decline. This is also increased depression. You'll start to see depression. You'll see low motivation. your emotions, your hormones will be a little bit off. So you might be angry, you might be a little bit bitter, you may have eating disorders. You're not going to eat on a more consistent diet. You'll start to then slack off. So as you're climbing up that hill, you reach that plateau and then it starts to drop it off. I know y'all feel me, man. Put it in the chat if y'all feel me for real. Y'all know what I'm talking about right here. Let me know if y'all know what I'm talking about. That drop-off stage, when you're working so much, you're working so hard that it starts to now your performance declines. We don't want to see decline, but you start to see it because you start to overtrain. Well, this is where you ask the question, well, Kobe, what, if it's overtraining, I think I may start to have that because I'm in the gym right now, but I'm not seeing the results that I'm getting. I do feel a little bit weird. I feel a little bit less motivated. I don't even feel like going to the gym anymore. These are some symptoms. And well, now let's get into it now. What are some symptoms? You might see a little bit like unusual muscle soreness after a workout. Maybe it persists and continues on. Maybe you don't really get out of that soreness. You stay sore in an uncomfortable way. Then you're unable. You have the inability to train or compete at a level that you were doing at a manageable level before. So now it starts to get worse. Your legs start to feel heavy. Now, this is important because now we're starting to get into the heart issues. You ever had a heavy chest? Well, these are early signs of heart issues. And so, again, this is where overtraining comes into heavy legs, even lower intensities of exercise. You don't want to give that much. You felt like you give too much, even though you went harder before, but a more consistent level is declining. You start to see delays in recovery because you can't necessarily get to where you want to get to. You reach the plateau and it starts to decline. You hit that ceiling. So when, as gravity hits, you touch that ceiling, you come right back down because you've hit that plateau. And so these are some symptoms. And a lot of times if you start to see this, well, maybe you have signs of overtraining. Well, now we can get into, well, what can we do to overcome it? But before we do that, and then this is a reaction, right? This is a reaction video. But before we get into that, we're going to get into what Ernest says. So like when you're doing too many reps, despite what workout you do, you'll injure the part of your body. Now, I'm glad you said that. When you're doing too many reps, despite the workout that you do, you can injure yourself. I think you can injure yourself if you are doing it incorrectly. If you are doing too many reps of incorrect form, I think you're now start to enter in that injury realm, right? And so I think it's important that you do the correct form, the correct way, and start off with the right amount of weight and then increase from there. That's going to entail that your body can control what it is that you're trying to work out. I think and I believe that you can do a lot of reps, and that's not considered overtraining. It's not considered overtraining. That gets into more what we're going to talk about later. All right. I just wanted to give you a breakdown of what happens when overtraining actually is in play here. All right. And so what we're going to do is react to what the Mind Pump podcast talks about when they're defining overtraining. All right. And so we're going to get into that aspect here actually right now. So let me know if you guys can hear it on your side and let me know in the chat. Give me 1 second.
Chasing that natural high.
That's right. So
You guys here, just
overtraining
do a thumbs up
essentially
in
is
the chat.
defined as doing more than is necessary to accomplish your health and fitness goals. So that means you're overdoing it, right? So you send the stress, your body's adapting to it, but now you're adding more stress on top of this. And all you're doing is compromising your body's ability to adapt, to recover and adapt. By the way, recovery and adaptation are separate. Recovery is healing. Adaptation is above and beyond healing. So it's like if I scratch my skin will heal so that it's back to normal. But then if I do that enough times, I'll start to develop a callus. So that would be the adaptation, right? Doing more than is necessary is considered overtraining. Now, over time,
Now, y'all heard what he said. Okay. He's talking about overtraining, doing it too much. All right. And so now we're going to get into the aspect of what exactly is it. So pay attention to what he's talking about, right? What's going on, Cuzzo? So if you pay attention to what he's saying, he's going to break it down a little bit. And then I'll come back and kind of re-explain it to you. I know he uses a lot of scientific words. That's the realm and that's where he kind of lives at. So I want to give it to you so you can hear from him, but I'm also going to come back behind it and I'll re-explain it and break it down basically and simply, so that way the mass audience can really get this information and digest it properly.
Compromises your progress. Okay. So if you send the right signal, everything's perfect. Maybe you build, I'm going to use a fake number, but let's say you gain a pound of muscle in 3 weeks if you do everything right. If I add more to that, all I'm going to do is reduce the amount of muscle that I could build, because now I'm dipping into my resources for more and more recovery. So it compromises progress, but over time, it actually starts to result in worsening performance and then degrading health. Over time, you start to dig a hole and a deeper hole and a deeper hole. So not only are you coming back to the gym and with no performance improvements, but now you start to notice you're coming back to the gym and you're performing worse. It's like, I'm working so hard, but why do I have less stamina? Why do I have less?
I already said you're coming into the gym and performing worse. You're performing worse, meaning that these are signs of overtraining, because you're coming into the workouts and not performing at its optimal like you need to, right? So a decline of performance is definitely one telltale sign. So you want to ensure that you're progressing in the right way, because then when you start to digress, now you're starting to get into this into the issues and the syndrome of overtraining. Now, what I like to say is, and what needs to be said, is the recovery aspect of it. I actually believe not necessarily in overtraining, and what most people think is overtraining is too many reps. I don't think there is really such thing if you're doing it the right way. But if you're going to do a lot of reps, that's going to take a toll on your body. So if you're going to take a toll on your body, then you need to offset that with proper recovery. So if you're going to work out hard, you need to recover hard. If you ever heard that analogy, work hard, play hard. So if you're working harder, you need to play harder. So if you're working, you need to make sure you're taking some vacations so you can relax, because you have to offset. You got to off balance it, because you don't want to overheat that engine like we used in the analogy earlier. Because you overheat that engine, you're going to have to turn it off, aka recover, let it cool down a little bit, and then you can crank it back up when it gets to a regulated temperature. So bringing it back to fitness, if you make sure you recover, have the proper foam rolling, for example, is a recovery tip. Proper sleep is another recovery tip. Stretching is another great recovery tip. Relaxing, not taking things so seriously. Massages, going to physical therapy to work on any ailments that might be holding you back. These are recovery things that you can do to boost your performance base when it comes to working out. But this is actually a life lesson for you guys as well, because if you want to recover in life in general, or elevate your performance, now we're going to start to get into the recovery aspects of life in general. All right. And that's a whole nother topic, right? But I want to fast forward a little bit so that way he can show you the clear signs of overtraining. Let me here we go. And let me make sure that you guys can hear it. I think it actually paused. Oh, let me take it off real quick. I let it catch up a little bit, y'all. Let me bring it back. All right, here we go.
Sleep throughout the night, lower libido, very strong food cravings. This is an interesting one. You'll find that you'll either have no appetite, or you'll have these crazy cravings for hyper palatable foods, right? So processed foods, sugars, those types of things. Hot and cold intolerance is another big one. This is one I noticed for myself. Inflammation, just stiffness, and then a high rate of fatigue and injury. Overtraining is a very, very fast, easy path towards injury, and the data on this is pretty clear.
I would also add putting in tons of work, yet seeing no results.
Yeah.
Super common, right? So this category of people, all of these people fall in this, like, I can't figure this out. I'm training 4, 5, 6, 7 days a week.
I'm sore. I'm
pushing.
sweating.
possibly do more.
Yeah, I'm pushing I know I'm working harder than the next guy or girl, and I'm eating good. I'm not making any bad food choices yet. I'm not seeing the progress.
Yep.
That is a common theme that you see amongst all of these people that are suffering.
Now, here's the good news is that if this is you and you're putting like ridiculous amounts of work, you're burning yourself out, you're cutting your calories real low, your body has stalled, there's no progress, you can't figure out what's going on. The answer is literally to do less, and your body will progress. And this was both my favorite and least favorite type of client. Least favorite because it was so hard to convince them that this would work. Favorite because when I would convince them, it would blow their mind so much that it was almost, they oftentimes are in disbelief. Like I remember one specific woman that I trained who was like this.
So y'all heard what he said. He said that they are declining, but they also are opening themselves up for injury. And his answer was to do less. And so what I'm saying is the recovery portion. So you got to make sure that you're recovering the right way. And this is actually science, right? And so it talked about if you're going to recover, you want to set a few days aside, sometimes even 2 weeks, to allow your body and your mental, that's important, your mental to recover. You'll enable yourself to return back to the working out. You'll be even stronger than you were before, and you'll back up on your reps a little bit because you've taken such of a break that you have to work yourself back into it. But you have to know exactly where you are when it comes to overtraining. That's why it's important to get with someone who knows what they're doing so they can kind of help you and walk you through it. If you're looking for that, hit me on the IG. We do take clients as well. We can look at everything and reconstruct it to give you the right type of workouts for you that you're looking for. That way you can get to your goals and then you can get above that plateau. All right. That happens to a lot of folks all the time. Shout out to the bar. He says, you need your rest and recovery days. Absolutely. I'm going to give you guys a recovery tip that I do. A recovery tip that I do. Yo, I get on routine and I make sure I get some sleep. Y'all know me, man. Me and Showtime talked about this. We talk about this a lot. I can sleep anywhere, y'all. Like literally, I can go to bed. It ain't gonna take me long to fall asleep. I don't mind because I know that is a recovery method for myself. Is sleep. Sleep is one of the biggest things that you can utilize in recovery. That's the number one thing that I recommend to do is get more sleep if you are feeling like you're overtraining and all these different syndromes and issues are happening to you. Sleep, number one. Number two is stretching. Stretching is so important because your muscles are tight and that will put you in the category of injury. Balance and mobility is importante. It's for my Spanish folks. Importante. We know what importante means, right? It means important. All right. Important. Because if you are off balance in your core, you're going to be prone to injury because you have one body part that's stronger than the other. And that means you're going to utilize one over the other, which means you're going to put that body part that you're putting more pressure on at risk for injury. Anybody who's gotten injured understands what that means. All right. So those are some things you want to take into consideration. All right. And what also Sal talks about is he talks about the different aspects. But before we continue, I want you guys to hear what he recommended to his client for overtraining, right? This was a gem he gave, y'all. I want you guys to pay attention to this one.
And I cut out 2 of her cardio days and replaced them with a yin yoga class. And she's like, should I adjust my calories? I'm burning less calories. I said, no, let's keep your calories the same. Let's see what happens. And she lost body fat. And I remember her coming in and she was tracking everything. She was like super meticulous. And she was almost in tears. She's like, I didn't believe you when you told me this. She goes, but it's really weird. I'm doing yin yoga, which is like sitting on the floor holding a stretch. Whereas before I was doing these crazy HIIT cardio workouts for an hour and I'm getting leaner. This doesn't make any sense. So they're my favorite because I blow their mind, but least favorite because convincing these people.
These are my.
It makes sense to me. It makes sense to me because you were overtraining, which means you need to relax the muscles. You have to relax your mind and body. For those that understand yoga, the Zen yoga, that's a mind body relaxation, breathing, breath work. Again, remember what we just told you guys when we talked about fat loss. Fat loss is turned into water. Excuse me. When you're fat burning, that process turns into water and it turns into carbon dioxide. That's how it escapes your body. Breathing. When you breathe out, that is releasing the fat cells. That's going to help you do fat loss. So when you're doing yoga and relaxing, it's called deeper breathing. These are the relaxation days. These are the relaxation moments that your body needs to recover. This is a real gym, y'all. It's a real gym. I'm gonna take a pause real quick to answer some questions. And for me personally, it'd be pretty much rather go to the gym, working out 2-3 days a week. And in honesty, in all honesty, Ernest, that would be what you would do to do workouts, to go hard on those days and relax the other days. And again, that's going to be on the minimum toll of strength training, right? And it all depends on what you're trying to shoot for as far as your goals. What up, Laos? It's all going to depend on what you're shooting for in your goals. And this is when it comes to fitness. This is why it's super important, because 2 to 3 days of strength training is, if you do it effectively, you will drop pounds, you will increase your strength, you will increase your muscle, all with the right eating habits. You can, I won't say drastically change your life, but it will be the start of a path that you will see results on when you keep that consistently. I'm gonna tell you like this: anybody who started, like whoever worked out with me, they started with me. Everybody who worked out with me got stronger. Every single person, without a doubt, because we saw where we can go and we pushed it to the next level. But if y'all know me, I get it in, y'all. We a beast mode. Y'all see me in the gym, y'all know we getting it in, y'all. What's going on with you? I'm telling you, when we lift them weights, we lift them weights. I don't care if you a girl, I don't care if you a guy, we get it in. I'm telling y'all. And for ladies, I'm gonna just throw this little quick tip in there. If y'all trying to work out and y'all lifting weights, do not be scared of the weights, ladies. Please don't be scared of the weights. You're not gonna look like a man. I'm telling you. Your biological set, the way God had you guys set up, you're not gonna do that. You're not gonna look like that. You're gonna look like a woman, okay? You're only gonna look big, super jacked if you are taking things. It's like a guy who's just gonna get overly big. He's probably taking something. So just keep that in mind. Don't be scared of the waist. That's only gonna aid you into where you want to go. Ernest has a question. Says, would it be possible for me to do workouts, train until close to failure, no matter what workout you do? I think that is good to train to failure if you're doing it the right way. I don't think every workout you need to do till failure, because that you could injure yourself. Number one. Number two, it doesn't sound like you may have a plan unless you've been working out for a very long time and you know what you're doing and how much blood to pump in the muscle. What's going on with you, Jess? That's what I recommend. I would say train to failure in all of your workouts, but ensure that, I'm gonna give you an example. I'm gonna just give you a quick tip. This is a gym, y'all. If you are doing legs, right? I'll just say this. Let's say you start off, and this is after warm-ups. This is completely after warm-ups. Let's say the first workout you do is squats. You do squats. Let's say if you're doing, 4 or 5 sets of like 12 to 15. Me personally, I'm going to go up in weight each time, because 12 to 15 is a range, which means that you can go up. So you always want to do progressive overload, because this indicates that you're going to build more muscle. All right. And then on that 5th or on that 6th set, I would go to failure, but drop the weight to where you could do it. Not too light, but enough where you could do it until failure, meaning until you can't do anymore. All right. And so that's just, I'm giving you an example of what I would do to train close to failure on that particular workout. That's what I would do. All right. Like, for instance, if I were to do hammer curls. Okay, cool. Hammer curls. Yeah. It will be that same process. So if you're going to do hammer curls, like maybe 4 sets of like 12 to 15. But I'm probably going to go up a little bit, maybe by like 5 pounds. And then when I get to that like fifth or sixth set, drop the weight to maybe either where you started or maybe a little bit above that and just go to failure. And so that's something that I would do if I were you. Okay. So that's something that you can do to train to failure. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. So if you're going to train to failure, if you're going to train and do everything, make sure you have a recovery. And that's what they were just talking about. If you're going to train 2 to 3 days like that, Ernest, where you, and again, I'm assuming that you have a proper workout routine on those 2 to 3 days, because that's going to be highly recommended. All right. The rest of your days, you got to recover. And I'm talking about you got to get at least 6.5 hours of sleep, get up and stretch, breathe properly, do your yoga, take your cold baths, get in the sauna. And I mean, you really want to take your recovery and go hard on your recovery, just like you're going hard on your workouts. That's something that I think is a great, it's something that you want to add into your routine anyway. I think that's a great start. I think that's an excellent start, actually. Powerful facts, bro. Keep that in mind. Absolutely. And shout out to Jabbar. He says another example is 4 sets of 10, 8, 6, and 4 with progressive overload. You know what? I'm glad you said that, bro. I'm glad you said that. That's something that I would do for strength. If you're going for strength, you're trying to get strong, that's an excellent rep to set. So 10 reps, 8 reps, 6 reps, 4 reps. That's a perfect example of going up each time. And that's actually good for like someone who's just starting to work out. If you're going to strength train, go ahead and get used to that, but go up so you know what to do, because you might get to that. Let's say if you get to that 4th rep and you felt like you can do more, then you know, oh, okay, well, the next time I do it, shoot, I'm going to go up a little bit heavier, or maybe go up in reps. So instead of doing 10, 8, 6, 4, maybe next time you could do 12, 10, 8, 6. You know what I'm saying? You can stagger your workouts and reps like that, all depending on how your body is taking to the weights, how your body is adapting to the workouts. Pay attention. And this is, I think we spoke about this last week where we talked about being self-aware. When you're working out, y'all, be self-aware about what you're doing, because that's going to tell you a lot into getting to your goals. If you're just doing the same thing every day, not really being aware of it, you're going to start to stagger off because you're not being aware and making adjustments on the fly. You need to make adjustments on the fly. And again, if you're not sure what to do, you got to tap in with me, because this is something that we do here, man, especially at the Rise and Rise Academy. Y'all done worked out with me before. Y'all know what's going on. You feel me? Ernest, you worked out with me, so you already know. We on the fly. We on the go. All right? So that's how you want to pay attention to yourself. So get help, I recommend. If you're unsure of what to do, that's going to be your biggest thing, which means you're going to have to pay some money. If you're unsure of what to do, I believe in paying for information. So that's something that's going to be important. I'm giving you guys this for free because I'm giving you just some experience, but this is all pertaining to the topic, which is overtraining. All right. And so that's something that I wanted to talk about, and I wanted to give you guys right here. So now you know what to do. So again, just as a quick breakdown overview, the symptoms of overtraining is muscle sore, too much muscle soreness continued, the inability to train or compete at your manageable level, feeling heavy chested, heavy leg feeling, low intensity on exercise, you're having delays in recovery, plateauing and declining, depression, mental health, off hormones, low motivation, anger, eating disorders. These are things that are going to be symptoms of overtraining. The counterbalance to that is recovery. You have to set a few days aside to allow your mind and your body to recover from all of that work that you're doing, so you can enable yourself to return to the gym even stronger, relax. Think about how great you feel when you when you go to work, but coming from a vacation. Man, you come back feeling so good. You like, man, I'm ready to work. Well, at least I do. I come back ready to work. You know what I mean? I come back ready to get after it. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm relaxed. I'm chilled. All right. Take that with you into your overtraining. So just as a recovery. Now, this is coming from me. Coming from me now. I don't see anything wrong with overtraining and if you have an over recovery process. If you're gonna overtrain, over recover. I don't think there's nothing wrong with overtraining if you're doing it properly because that's the fastest way to see results. Most people want to go work out, they want to see results fairly fast. You're gonna have to put the work in. But I'm gonna also recommend that you put the work in recovery too. If you're gonna work out hard, you got to recover hard, especially if you're new. You're gonna see something called newbie gains. We call newbie gains. What's going on, D? You're gonna see something called newbie gains because most of the time your body adapts fairly quick when you first start, and then you start to plateau because you're not doing them properly. And most people quit early. It's just like these New Year resolutions. That's why they don't last that long. All right. So I always recommend overtraining, meaning do a lot of reps in the gym properly with the right form. You're going to be sore in a good way, but you got to recover, y'all. You got to recover. Stretching, get your sleep, breathing properly, do yoga, cardio. These things help relax the body so that way you can come back into the gym. Oh, and eating properly, eating the right foods. And I can't say this enough. I recommend the Rise and Rise Academy Food Pyramid. Y'all seen it before. I'm going to show you again. The Rise and Rise Academy Food Pyramid, mostly alkaline veggies and alkaline grains. Next is your fruits. Get a lot of fruits in there. Your herbs, meaning your teas, your herbal teas, whole foods and snacks. That's your rices. That's your beans. You know, that's your other veggies that's not alkaline, maybe like a broccoli that's not alkaline, but it's still a whole food veggie. These are things that you want to incorporate into your diet to get you the right metabolism and the right macros for you guys, an energy source. The right type of food is energy source. You guys talking about being tired? Well, it's the foods that you eat. The food is the fuel to the body. What are alkaline foods? It are energetic foods for you guys. This is why I give you guys the breakdown of the food pyramid, because I want you to feel good working out. I want you to feel good leaving the gym. I want you to feel good waking up in the morning, and I want you to feel good going to sleep all across the day, because this helps with mood stability. So that way you can get to your goals, recover properly with the right foods and the right stretching and the right foam rolling to get those tight muscles back loose. All right. These are things that I put into play because this helps me get to where I want to be. Regardless of everything that I've been through, I still am giving my all, and I'm able to go hard for a longer period of time. This is where stamina comes into play. It's because recovery is necessary. Recovery is necessary, y'all. All right. I want to end that with this. Get a recovery routine just like a workout routine. If you have a self-care day, make sure you have a self-routine that's going to give you recovery. So get a self-recovery day too. All right. And I say go hard in the gym all day, every day. Be a beast. Be a beast in the gym. All facts. All right. I appreciate everybody for joining in on the topic. Make sure you guys are follow me at King Alajuwan 21 on IG. Make sure you guys are follow me on Facebook at Rise and Rise Academy. Again, this your boy Cobe Rise and Rise. We about this thing. I love y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. Stay tuned next week. We got a heavy hitter topic. You dig what I'm saying? We got a heavy hitter topic. Y'all ain't gonna want to miss this one, man. It's your boy Cobe Rise and Rise. We about this thing. Peace.